In this video, we'll be finding the inverse of the function f of x equals the square root of x minus 1. So the inverse, f to the negative 1 of x, that's how it's written, but that means the inverse of this. And the process goes like this. This function can be written y equals the square root of x minus 1. Okay, and certain books show it different ways. I like to swap the x and y right away. So swap x and y in the process of finding the inverse. All right, this is the function, but now we're going to start swapping and start finding the inverse. So we've got x equals the square root of y minus 1. And now we solve for y. Some books solve for x and then swap it at the end, and that's fine either way, but I like to do it this way. So now we're going to solve for y. And here we go. We have to square each side to get rid of the radical. So I'm going to do that. And we have x squared equals y minus 1. Then add 1 to each side. And you get x squared plus 1 equals y. And now this y, the reason I switch x and y right away is because now this y is this inverse. So I can just write the inverse. I'll just write it right up here. Equals x squared plus 1. Now the question is, well, what is the domain of that? Well, if you were to graph this function, let's graph this function, it would look like this. This is a very, very rough sketch, but it would start here at the 1, where x is 1, and y is 0, and then go on and on and on. This is the graph of f of x, right? Not the inverse, but just f of x. Now, important to remember, the domain of the inverse, we want to find the domain of the inverse for this problem. The domain of the inverse equals the range of the original function. And the range of the original function is all of these y values. So the range of this, I'm going to write it in purple here to just match up with this original function. The range, oops, I said purple. The range of f of x is all of these values, including 0, and then going on up forever, because it grows slowly, but it does grow forever. So 0 growing upwards forever, so 0 to infinity. That's the range of f of x, and that equals the domain of the inverse. So we can say the domain of the inverse function is also the same as the range as the original. So the domain of the inverse is from 0, including 0, to infinity. I hope that helps.